Have you ever heard the saying, searching for love in all the wrong places? Pretty corny, but there might be some truth to it. Although I don't know exactly on that part, but have you ever tried searching for your purpose? I feel like that quote kind of goes hand in hand. Searching for purpose in all the wrong places. Honestly, there's no video that you can watch that you can, scroll, either a long form, short form, and it's going to tell you what makes you fulfilled out of life, right? So, honestly, like nobody can answer that question for you. If you have that question on your mind, what's my purpose? What is something that makes me fulfilled in life? Nobody can answer that for you, right? So, me personally, I was always on on like YouTube, Instagram, just looking for something, right? Whether it be a quick, 15-30 second video or even a 15 to 30 minute video. Neither worked. Neither worked because I realized what I was actually searching for is not something that someone else can tell me, right? Nobody can tell you this, okay? Only you can answer this. And so when I go back to 2022, 2021, I just felt so lost in life to where I had the question of, like, is my life even worth pursuing? Like, literally just questioning life. What makes me happy? What makes me fulfilled in this life? And I realized what I did, I wasn't actually searching for true purpose, right? What I was actually finding, I found distractions. So I actually found vices instead, which, looking back on it, I can look at it two ways. One was bad because obviously I wasted that time, but two, I realized that, all that time, it was just a waste. But at least I know it now because I'll never go back to, if I have a question on something within myself, because that's a question from within, right? You only find it within yourself. And so with that, nothing external, nothing such as a YouTube video or a guru could tell you. Like, it all starts from within. And these questions, you have to answer them. Nobody can do that for you. So I was looking for the answers, but it was in all the wrong places. Because it didn't matter how many videos I watched. I'm telling you, I probably have at least 10,000 hours spent on YouTube alone, just trying to find something. But looking back, it was just a whole bunch of nonsense. I thought, okay, I got to filter throughout all the nonsense in order to find my answer. Where was I going to find this answer? And it all came down to a reflection on myself. And when I reflected on the actions that actually I was taking, meaning I wasn't doing anything to move the needle forward. I wasn't trying to get new experiences. I wasn't trying to actually ask myself deep questions. It was only shallow, surface level questions. And that's not how you're going to find your purpose. Especially if you're feeling lost right now. You, like, these basic questions of, oh, what do you like to do? Well, do you know? Because obviously not, because you don't know what makes you fulfilled. If you wake up every morning regretting that the alarm clock went off, you hate your life, you're not fulfilled. It doesn't matter if you have a hobby, right? I liked working out at the time, right? Because I like having a good physique. I like taking care of myself. It's cool being able to lift weights or running in the moment. You know, I always like doing, but okay, something I like to do. I don't see myself doing that majority of my day. I spend probably maybe 2-3 hours max on it, right? But anything more, you really can't do anymore. So what can you do to actually go within and not, have somebody answer this for you? Because nobody can do this. So what I did, I cut off all of the short form content. So this being Instagram, TikTok. I haven't had TikTok in years. Instagram, it's a little hard because I do get my news from it. Like, not politics, but like just things that are going on. Sports teams or, things like that. Right. So I have to limit myself. I'm on and off with it. But TikTok, I really don't see no benefit in it. Twitter, okay, you can argue. You can find news on it. I wasn't a big fan. My biggest vice was probably Instagram. And 21, 22 was probably TikTok. And that's like the last time I've had TikTok actually on my phone. Instagram, I kind of go through it now, but I'm really not on it as much because it's just such a distraction. And I realized how much of a distraction it was. So now that I know, I'm not going to find answers because half the time you'll mindlessly do it. And it's probably more than half the time I was mindlessly just scrolling, looking for, I was thinking I was looking for something, but really I was finding cheap entertainment. And if I was actually, purposeful with my mission there, meaning, I'm searching for the answer. So I'm going to hurry up and scroll till I find something engaging. If a hook gets me on 3 seconds talking about, you won't believe what this new actor just said, I would have scrolled. But come to find out, I was watching the whole 30, 60-second video and all that adds up, right? And it's nothing really that I could even remember these short form videos because it's so much info that we don't retain. And that's why the term TikTok brain literally shows up. It's such a big thing because you scroll so much, you don't remember nothing. And I see it now, just talking to kids now, like their attention span is so much lowered from it. And they'll forget something. Like my little cousin, I just remember talking to her and she'll forget what I literally just said to her. Like she's looking dead in my face and just forget what I just said. And it's not like it happens once or twice. Okay, yeah, that happens. It's like almost all the time. And it just cracks me up. But first off, you want to get rid of all the short form. And now you could argue keeping YouTube can be a bad thing because obviously if you're not directional, you'll find yourself watching, I don't even know. I was watching a Osama bin Laden raid when they have those like animations and stuff like that. You have to be very purposeful. So have a mission, have a goal on why you're doing something and keep that in your mind. Like always keep it, okay, I'm trying to find something engaging, not something, mindlessly in my head. And if you can't do it, honestly, just cut it off. Cut it off how you're going to cut off the short form content. Cut off YouTube for a little bit. Right? What you need to do, you need to spend time alone. When you spend time alone, this actually gives you the clarity you need without so many distractions around you. Because, I don't know if you ever heard like a girl, it's usually with girls, they'll get out of a relationship and then they'll hop right into another one. Like I know this chick that was with someone for 2 years. They broke up 2 weeks later. She's in a new relationship, right? And I realized people that do that, it's all a distraction, right? Because they can't spend time alone. Now for guys, this is even worse because you're not spending time alone. You're not really even finding out who you are. What makes you happy? What do you enjoy doing? What is the meaning in your life? Girls, I don't know. They might be able to get away with it. That's them. But you need to have intention when you're doing this. So spending time alone, if you're not in a relationship, even better, because a relationship can definitely distract you. But if you're in a relationship, you need to set the boundaries on getting that time alone. Stare at a wall, stare at the ceiling, like literally lock yourself in your room for a day. Go on a drive even. Don't listen to anything. Have a direction you want to go. Like, I don't know, like the lake or something. Say a lake is like an hour away from you. Drive that out. Find something that's farther, right? Like an hour away. Don't speed. I realize when I drive, I'm kind of locked into driving so much. Versus when I'm like with someone and having a good conversation, I'll be like more on like cruise control, you know? Like I'm not gonna be speeding too much. I'm not gonna be going 20 over and stuff like that, right? I'm just chilling, right? Go on one of those like chill type of drives, you know, like always using your turn signal and I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one. No, I'm not the only one. But if you're one of them drivers, you know, that'd be racing, cutting up through traffic, this and that. No, actually take the time. Drive like a civilian. See how it is driving like that once in a while. Driving the slow lane on the highway. You got 3 lanes, driving that right lane. It's it is definitely different if you're used to sitting in the left lane, middle lane, left lane, sit in the right lane. But this time alone, you know, it's so much clarity. Even if you don't find out what you do like, you can find out what you don't like. Find what you don't like. Now that's a big one because when you do that, it's like cutting off distractions. Same thing with cutting off Instagram or any like short form cheap entertainment like that, any cheap dopamine hits. You find out what you don't like, and you find out that Instagram is such a distraction to you. At least you don't have that in your life, wasting your time. So when you find this, at least that's a win. Honestly, you find what you don't like during this time alone. That's definitely a win because now you can start. That's a step moving forward. Now, this is kind of what I did, especially having my job. So I drive truck, and when I drive truck, I'm driving for a while, right? And this is basically what I would do if I wasn't driving truck. Even then, though, I was driving like 2020. You know, I was going through a pretty rough time. 2020, 2021. I was going through a rough time. And I would do DoorDash. And like DoorDash, they'll send you on like these crazy routes sometimes. But, you know, sometimes it was like 30, maybe 20, 30, 45 minutes even sometimes away from the store to the person. And man, driving that night, like even if the music's like low, I wasn't even thinking about the music. Kind of just in my head, you know, just thinking, right? And if the music's distracting you, man, turn it off. Listen to nothing. Have the windows cracked down. Just listen to the traffic. Listen to that. Just, you got to be very intentional with it. Because being intentional is kind of like the only way you can do it. It's not just going to come out the blue, right? And if it does, it's going to be years down the road, right? Because even during that time, 2020, 2021, I wasn't too intentional. Granted, I did have time alone, so that did get me thinking about life, but it wasn't until like 23, 24 till I really like, okay, I'm intentional. I know what I want out of this life, and it kind of keeps me going, right? And as you level up in life, you reach new goals, right? Because let's say you had a goal. I don't even know. Some people have crazy goals, right? You want to hit 100 M. Like, why don't you focus? You want 100 million, right? I mean, but you don't even have 100K to your name. Focus on this goal, right? Because right now we're not thinking about money. we're thinking about purpose, which is, you know, bigger than money. Purpose is greater than money. But if we're focused solely on the money aspect, it's the same thing, right? So you start small. You start with a small goal. You start with that 100K. Then you hit it, right? That's your surface. Then you reach a new goal. So, okay. Then you hit the 1M, right? And it works its way up until you get there, right? And you don't know, because the journey, it's a lifelong journey at the end of the day, right? Life is truly about the journey. It's not the destination. Because honestly, the destination, a lot of people don't want to admit it, but it's in the graveyard. When you're gone, that's your destination. That is your time, right? And we get so caught up. We get so caught up with the money. You know, obviously, if you're struggling week to week, trying to make $1, you can't, you know, put food on the table, like basic stuff like that. That's all you know is the hustle, the hustle culture, and focusing on making money. But give yourself a little bit of room. By no means am I rich enough to, you know, fuck off and never work a job again. I'm retired, tired of my family, stuff like that. By no means. But I'm going through the journey, and I have a gap from, you know, baseline. This is the baseline, and this is me now. And right here, this little spot, this is basically my room to breathe. Okay. So from here to here, that's my room to breathe, right? So I can actually be intentional with the things I want to do, because I'm not worried about quick dollars. Obviously my goals is way up here, of course, right? Because you always want to go for something bigger than you. But you got to give yourself room to breathe, because I was down here before. I was at baseline. So then all I'm thinking about is $1, hustle culture, and just trying to make it to tomorrow, right? But when you zoom out, you think about the bigger picture, you give yourself room to breathe during all this. You can actually, this was the time actually when I found out what I want to do with my life, where I want to be at next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you know. And I wake up and I'm excited to get up, excited to get to it. I mean, I'm excited making these YouTube videos. Now, I'm not doing nothing with this, right? I don't know. I mean, even if it just reaches one person, like that's honestly my goal. Help somebody that was in my position where I was 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? And that's basically who I'm talking to. I'm talking to myself 5 years ago when I needed somebody to kind of give me this advice, because you can figure this out on your own, right? If your path, this is your path, right? You can get here eventually to where you find meaning, you find fulfillment. I don't know. Maybe it might take you 5 years, like it did me. Maybe even 3, right? So if you're starting right here, you got to take this path. But I had somebody, you know, help me, maybe give me some advice, because there was really nobody that was going through what I went through. And I feel like it's not such a big thing talked about today, especially with guys, young men. It seems like our problems almost don't even matter. And when you're waking up not feeling fulfilled in life, people kind of shrug it off. It's not big of a deal. Oh yeah, just work your job, do whatever. You know, you kind of only know around your environment, right? The same people that are around you that are living this miserable life. I mean, you don't even know if you'll find it, right? Like, you don't know when. But if I can help you get started right here, okay, so now journey, it's not going to take you 3, 5 years, right? Somebody had given me this advice on actually being intentional on it. Shoot, yeah, I'd be in there in 1 year, 2 years, right? And that's the whole purpose of my goal. That's the whole purpose of this channel, is kind of just to help somebody.